All right. For my second website, I will be talking about PrimaryPad, and it is found at primarypad.com. It is free for the basic edition, or it's $7.80 a month for the pro edition. For the free edition, it's like a real-time document collaboration. So if you're familiar with Google Docs, it's kind of like a Microsoft Word document that's interactive that students and the teacher can get on and type back and forth to each other. There's also a chat room in it. So as well as the document that you're working on, there's a chat room too to interact with each other, which is a part of the free one. On the free version, you also can have 50 users on the pad at the same time. This one you do not have to register for. Um, for the pro version, there you get all of those free features plus unlimited number of users on the pad. You can import images. There's password security, and you can import and export documents onto the pad. All right, so here is the PrimaryPad website. I pulled it up in my browser. You can see it's just primarypad.com, and then here is the main page when you get to that website. And up here, you could click on the link of what is PrimaryPad. And the one thing I did find of this, there is something that they talk about that they have a sticky note part of this, but when I click it, it says that it's no longer a part of it. The features and pricing, teachers, resources, and also supports there. So here it just kind of shows you, this is a quick overview of what it looks like. It's just like a Word document. Each person has their own color and their rating on there. So I'm just going to log in since I made an account. Log in. And it already has me saved and logged in. So see right there I am. And the most recent pad that I was working on, it will be right here, or I can create a new pad. So I just typed in Module 5 ACTE 630 as my example pad to use. So I'm going to click that to open it up. All right, so here it is. Here is the pad that I started working on. And you can see that it is really similar to a Microsoft Word document. All of these features are in Microsoft Word, back, forward, bold, italic, anything like that. And this is just changing the color of your font if you'd like. Now going over here, there are some different tools that are pretty neat. Right here is called the import export. So I'd click that and say we did something today as a class, we worked on it, and I want to save it. I could actually save it as a PDF. And then this will something I could download on my computer and print out or send to another student. Or if you want to import or export, upload anything from your computer, like an image, you can put it on here through there as well. This right here is the time slider, and I actually think this is pretty neat. If you click it and go to it, and you hit play, it actually shows you every step, and you can actually slow it down and rewind it, but it actually shows you every step of where we were at each point in the day, or what our process was. So that's nice to kind of see how the students were doing. All right, and now going back. Okay, so just back at the pad here, you can see that this is a chat box. Now it says my name by it right here, and you can see the color blue. Automatically, all students are assigned a different color. That way you can see their, what they gave to the document. And then here's the chat. You can see some things I typed in. So you just click down here and say, how are you doing? Type that in and it'll show you. So that's real time right there as well. And let's see. The one feature that's really nice to kind of help this be more protected is this. It says set a password. So I could type in like the word practice and make this so that nobody else can get into it unless they know the password. Now, in order to send it to somebody, I'd have to first click this, and then here's the pad. Here's the link to the pad. But you could also just click this up here, and that's the link to get to the pad as well. So if I just enabled the password, they would have to click the link and then put in the password practice to get onto this website with us. That's pretty much it for the website. Besides this settings thing here, I just put, you can click that you want the chat to be open all the time. The authorship color, so that way everybody has their own color. I think those are the main things I used in there for that. And then you could see like something I could do with my Johnny, since I'm doing first grade Johnny Appleseed, that was my unit. I could just say, please type your sentence below about our field trip. So each first grader would have to write a sentence about, maybe we did a virtual field trip or we actually went on a field trip, and then they have to read their peer's sentence and then leave a comment. So that's a good way to kind of, make collaboration occur in this classroom. All right, for a review of the features, there's a live Word document, so it's synchronous to all students. You can see as the teacher types and as the students type in live time. The authors each have their own assigned color, so that way I'll know who is participating or who is inputting information and who isn't. The pad also saves for 30 days on the free version. So if there's an absent student, they can still log into it and kind of see what they missed out on. And they can use that timeline slider, which is really nice to kind of see how we worked through the Word document throughout the day. Okay. The Rice text links. So how can Primary Pad foster a sense of community? On page 103, Rice discusses using icebreakers to help students learn about each other. So I was thinking at the beginning of the school year, have maybe students do the 2 truths and a lie activity where each of them can, maybe type your name and then I want you to type 2 truths and a lie. And then in the chat box, we can kind of guess, what we think is which is nice to kind of learn more about the students and, make them feel more comfortable with each other. Rice also states the importance of sharing personal stories with students and letting your personality shine through. I also think that in the chat, if we're talking about Johnny Appleseed, maybe I'll share a story. Maybe something happened. I ate an apple pie the other day and I fell off the chair. Just something silly or something that happened to kind of, build that sense of community with the classroom. And also just doing student check-ins at the beginning too. I can go on that chat and say, hey, how was your weekend? Did anything exciting happen? Are you excited to do anything this weekend? And I think that's also a great way to kind of build that community. All right, links to table 5.3 in the Rice text. In the brainstorming, I could create a KWL chart. I could just write, what do we know about apples? And students could pretend, there's some are green, some are yellow. They come from a tree. And I could just do that for a whole KWL. And that could go right on our Word document as a class and it's live. The reflection section, I also thought, students can each go to a part of a document and type the answer to a journal prompt. So I could say, what did you learn today at the field trip to the orchard? What was your favorite part? So kind of reflect, and you can read everybody else's thoughts and come up with your own thoughts as well. And then we can have, a class chat about them. For problem solving, the live chat can be utilized on the side of the document to answer any student questions so that any issues can be solved right away. And if I'm discussing the life cycle of an apple and a student does not understand the flower stage, they can quickly say that in the chat and I can address it right away. And when it comes to product development, I could work with I could set students up to work with an assigned partner, and they could come up with their own version of like a Johnny Appleseed story in a document. And I could say, what would you wear on your head? What would you and your partner plan? How would you do this? And that's something that they could work together on a Word document, and then they could bring it back and share it with the class. All right, the social presence model. Community cohesion. I could foster student and teacher relationships through collaboration and chat room discussion, making it a point to talk to each student every day and get active participation from them. During the apple unit, I could have all students type their favorite apple food and one that they might not like as much. This could really help students learn about each other, and it may also spark some kind of semi-related conversation vital to building that classroom community. Sometimes a little bit of an off-topic conversation that can start from a discussion about apple cider can really build that community in a classroom. And then interaction intensity, due to having that live document, there needs to be constant interactions through chat or through document information that's put in. So, I'm never just going to have that document sitting up there with me not talking or somebody not doing something. It's never going to be blank. There's always going to be me saying something or a student saying something on there. And then finally, for instructor involvement, I just, make it a priority that I'm present at every class meeting, let students know that even if I break them up into groups and maybe I'll set them on their own Padlet and then I'll jump in their Padlet because we can do password protection Padlet and I can come in and see, what they're doing and if they're typing and collaborating ideas for a story we might be writing about apples. Also just using that chat box, utilizing that every day, starting conversation, recalling any issues or questions from the day before, or any other lessons we had earlier in the week. So kind of showing that I'm paying attention, I'm addressing any prior issues. And also just using it to specify expectations. Like today we are going to get through the whole life cycle of an apple. I expect you for homework tonight to cut and paste these life cycle pictures. and just it really adds to the communication aspect, which is vital to building a classroom community and having instructor involvement. All right, thank you for listening.